Okay, good. So I would say like treating happiness as the goal or equating happiness to mental wellness. I think that's just so overrated and I don't think it's accurate. So I think there's kind of two dangers to it. First, if happiness is the goal, then you're not going to do hard things. You're not going to reach for bigger goals and do those things that are important to you
You'll be
because
okay with just being
exactly
in the middle. As long
right.
as
You'll
everything
just
is
exist.
okay, that's fine for you. Yeah.
Sure, sure. Because I mean, you think about like what me and you are doing now. Like this is hard.
Yeah.
Trying to get this coaching thing going
Yeah.
and stepping out on your own, it's hard. And you're not always happy. Sometimes you're stressed, sometimes you're angry, sometimes you're doubting yourself. But I mean,
Mhm.
that's part of the process. And it's like, no, I'm not happy today, but I'm doing this thing that is really important to me. And there's power in that. There is power in stepping out and doing this thing that you really want to do, even though some days you're not happy about it. If happiness is your only goal, then you miss out on all of those
Yeah.
opportunities. And then, as far as happiness being a sign of mental wellness, I just don't think that's true. I think that mental wellness is about finding peace with those unhappy feelings. So some days I wake up and I'm sad and I'm angry, but I'm okay with that. It's like, okay, you know what? I can have this uncomfortable feeling and I can still function. Excuse me. I can still do hard things. I can still work towards my goals. I can still manage my relationships. I can still be me, even though I have this uncomfortable feeling. And
Mm.
I think that level of peace, it helps you not suffer so much. And I just think that's a huge sign of what mental wellness really is. It's about the whole spectrum of emotion, not just happiness.
Yeah. I 100% agree with that. So I understand that because people think that if you're happy, then you'll have the perfect life, everything will come to you and all this other stuff. And that's not it's not true. Just like how people
Yeah,
equate wealth to health, happiness. That's not true either. So the
yeah,
happiness is really happiness within yourself, being
hmm
okay with yourself. That's
yeah,
the most important goal of life, to be honest. Who cares what other
yeah.
people think sometimes? So,
When it comes to relationships, many people come into the idea that this person is supposed to make me happy. And I hate that saying. I know it's just a thing that we say, but it sets an expectation that's not true. No one else can make you happy. When I was depressed, my husband could not make me happy. There was nothing that he could do that made me happy because I wasn't happy with myself. I wasn't happy on the inside. And I used to have that expectation. And
mm-hmm.
I can't think of a a more unfair burden to put on another person than to expect for them to make you happy.
Mm-hmm.
It's impossible.
Yeah, because
And
you're
it
making
causes so
them,
much
yeah, you're
pain.
trying to make them like a mind reader when you're not.
Right, right, right. It's impossible. Like you have to do that work on your own and then you have to continue that work. And then you get into your relationship and you enjoy that time with the person, you enjoy that connection with that person, but it's not with this expectation that they make you happy. It's just like, hey, I love this person and
Mm-hmm.
we're having this amazing life together, but I am responsible for my happiness and my partner is responsible for their
Yeah, I agree. You're each accountable for your own happiness.
happiness.
And then if you're both happy, then that's a great relationship. So,
Right.
but I know this is not one of the questions, but I was sitting here thinking about it. So, besides, having a healthy relationship with yourself, having a healthy relationship with others is just as important. And I know a lot of people are in, I guess we're going to use this word, but I don't really like this word, in toxic relationships, whether it's with friends, family, peers, whatever. And
Mhm.
when people point that out to them, they're very hesitant to get out of those relationships. And sometimes the best thing to do is to either distance yourself from that person or just cut them off. To get them
Right.
out. What piece of advice would you have for anyone who is in a situation who, because I know a lot of people in like the fitness and wellness journey, they have people in their family who wants to continue to have an unhealthy relationship with food, or they have people who aren't supportive of their journey, and they don't want to, completely cut them off because, they love them, their family. You're not supposed to do that to family, or we've been friends since we're 7, all this other stuff. So what kind of advice would you give to that person who is in an unhealthy relationship, who is either scared to, like, cut them off or take a few steps back, or they're scared to have a conversation with that person? What kind of advice would you give to them?
Okay. It always depends on the situation,
Of
but
course.
um, if it's a toxic relationship that I'm not going to say that you can get rid of, because I think that really any relationship you can choose to walk away from it. But I would say that if you want to maintain some level of the relationship, then you need to have very strong, solid boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're in a position where you feel like you cannot voice your needs in that relationship, then you probably need to have someone help you to set those boundaries.
Yeah.
Boundaries they take a lot of courage, and boundaries come from a sense of loving yourself. And if you're unable to kind of communicate what's going on already, then you would probably benefit from having a coach or a therapist or someone that can work on those deeper issues that are causing you to feel uncomfortable with voicing how you feel. Because any relationship where you're not able to voice your opinion is a problem. Like, communication is everything in relationships, all types of relationships, family, friends, marriage, whatever. Like, if you are afraid to express yourself, then there's something in that relationship that is going wrong. And
Mm-hmm.
there's something there that you have to investigate. Otherwise, you really can't change anything. If you don't have a voice, you can't change anything. I mean, that's just the truth behind it. And you have to get those boundaries in place, and getting those boundaries in place may really take, talking to a professional over time and working through whatever is causing that fear in that relationship. But you definitely have to set those boundaries, because you matter as well. Your goals matter, your needs matter, the things that you're trying to do with your life, they matter. And if you have this relationship that is destroying that for you because it's so toxic, it's just going to drag you down. You have to set those boundaries, and you have to be willing to follow through with the consequences. Boundaries have consequences when they're crossed, and it's not a threat. It's not like, I'm going to hurt you if you do these things. It's like, if you cross this boundary, I'm going to do what I need to do to care for myself. That's the difference between a boundary and a threat. The consequence is not about hurting the other person. The consequence is about protecting yourself, because that's what boundaries do. They protect your health and your sanity. So you have to set those boundaries, you have to enforce those boundaries, and you have to kind of be okay with the feelings that come from it, because you may hurt some feelings. and,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's going to be uncomfortable to hurt feelings. But I mean, that's what has to be done. Healthy relationships, they have boundaries, all of them. That's part of a healthy relationship. They have boundaries, they have communication, and you have a voice in that situation, just like the other person has a voice in that relationship.
Yeah, I 100% pretty sure you're into your physical health as well. So, and it's not on the list of questions. This is new. So, what is your go-to workout song?
My go-to workout song. um, I don't know if I'm trying to think. I don't know if I have like a one song that I listen to. I kind of this is embarrassing. I have this one song. It's like, don't you think I'm sexy? It's like, have you heard that song? It's
I
like,
probably have.
it's super embarrassing. I should probably look it up for you. Yeah, Rod Stewart, do you think I'm sexy? Have
Okay.
you heard that? But yeah, that's kind of my I don't know. Like it makes me laugh.
It's a feel good
And
song.
I don't know if it necessarily like gets me pumped up when I'm in the middle of a workout, but like if I'm struggling, like, oh, I don't want to do this, then I put that song on and I feel stupid. And I feel like moving my body in stupid ways. And it just kind of like gets my mind out of like, and I don't want to do this mindset into a why not? Let's just do it mindset.
It's a
So
feel
yeah.
good song. We're just gonna go with that. It's a feel good song. Okay. And lastly, if anybody who's watching or listening would like to get in contact with you or interested in your services, how would they get in contact with you?
Okay, so the website is www.loveinambition.com. So that's LOVEINAMBITION.com. I'm also on Instagram and Facebook with the handle at Love in Ambition. If anyone wants to send me an email, my email is Theresa with an H, so THERESA at loveinambition.com.
All right. Well, that's awesome. So I really enjoyed our conversation, and I hope that our listeners found this as useful as well. And I'll see everyone next week for our next guest.